Why didn't you just keep going in the car business?
Not being truthful to your customers kind of sucked. They're not going to come back to buy another car. You're overselling. They're completely unsatisfied. You create a lot of bad relationships with your colleagues. I'd walk into the dealership and then I'm going straight out to the lot to see who's pulling into the dealership, seeing who's ready to buy a car.
It's a customer comes in, it's whoever gets to them first. That is a dog-eat-dog world. Hey, welcome back to the Greatness Factory, another edition of Just Like That, Only Different. I've got a different animal in here today. Devin Curtis, young killer that came into the industry and is just having so much success and sharing so many little nuggets today. A great story of personal, professional, and financial development. Nashville, Tennessee, here we are. Devin Curtis in the house. DC, the Devinator. Fired up. Glad to have you here. First time in Nashville. How we feeling?
Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, so first time in Nashville. Came down late last night. You decided, hey, we're going to follow the GPS, which took you on the beaten path through Clarksville, winding roads all through the night. How was the drive down?
It was actually really cool. So we avoided Nashville on purpose. Travis told us beforehand the traffic was pretty gnarly. So we wanted to take the back roads on purpose, but we didn't realize how windy those roads were. Yeah. But it was fun. Yeah. It was a nice ride.
Yeah, and now we're going to do some exploring today. We're going to do the whole deal, but we got you in here because you're a very unique individual in my mind. I've seen a lot of agents and successful people in this industry, and you've had some very quick success, some numbers that I don't think we've seen in that amount of time. So definitely something I want to dig into. The name of the podcast is Just Like That, Only Different, right? So we want to find out what makes you just like everybody else, but different. And I think we're going to unpack some things here. So we're going to rewind it back. You know how it goes. Rewind it back to Devin growing up. You grew up in Southern Illinois is what I found out last night, right? So Southern Illinois, talk to us about growing up as Devin Curtis. What was that like?
Yeah, so I grew up really from kindergarten to 7th grade. I was in a small country-esque school, Brighton, Illinois. And then
how many people are in that town, that school?
I couldn't tell you. Probably around. It was actually a very small school.
Yeah,
like it wasn't very.
Like how many people in your graduating class? Like 50, 100?
Well, that's not the school I graduated from. Gotcha. So that was up until 7th grade, and then in 8th grade is when parents split up, and then I moved to the East Alton Wood River area, and then from 8th grade and on, and then I went to high school at East Alton Wood River High School, and then graduated from there in 2019.
Okay. So
that school was relatively small. I think there was really only maybe 200 in my graduating class. Yeah. If that, maybe 150. Yep. But yeah, super small school.
So growing up, do you have brothers, sisters, anything?
Yeah. So I have 3 sisters. I grew up with primarily 2. Yep. There was an older one that wasn't really as in the picture like growing up. Like she's in the picture now, but growing up, it was just primarily one of my sisters, Taylor, and then Jessica.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to dig here a little bit. Let me know if I need to stay off things, all right? So I heard a little bit. My parents split up too when I was younger. So you're growing up in a smaller town. How was that family life growing up? And what was it a disciplined household? Were you doing a lot of chores? Did you have a lot of hobbies? What was that like growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I say we have a lot of chores, like your basic chores, like clean your room, do the dishwasher. Yeah. I hated that. Yeah. But growing up, it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't say it was as strict until like later years, like my teenage years for sure. I was a pretty crazy kid. Yeah. I was always outside, always doing something. It was usually sports.
Did you get into trouble a lot as a kid?
Yeah. Yeah. I was always doing something I probably wasn't supposed to be doing. Yeah.
Just pushing the limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
can you share what that means, pushing the limits? Like, what were you doing?
I don't know. It was just the one.
Getting the cops called on you or anything?
I have, yeah. And it's such a weird story. Like, we had, me and my friend Sal, we had CO2 bottles growing up. And that's like what you put in, like, airsoft guns and whatnot. Yeah. And I found a really big rock and I just dropped it on the CO2 bottle, and it exploded. It sounded like a gunshot, and instantly the cops were called.
Okay.
That's one story that comes to mind. Other than that, I wasn't getting, like, the cops called a lot.
You were just kind of like, for lack of a better word, it's like a shithead kid just growing up. Okay. Yeah. That paints a better picture here. So you're kind of just, you're out there just messing around, doing stuff, having fun, being a kid,
right.
Doing what kids do. And so just pretty normal growing up.
Yeah.
Right? So 7th, 8th grade, you said your parents split up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was probably right around the same time for me. So, I mean, when I asked Travis that same questionnaire of 9 to 13, was that a transitional period in your life in terms of some things happening?
Yeah, that was actually a really big point in my life. Just seeing my parents split up, that obviously impacted me quite a bit.
Yeah.
Just the fact that my parents didn't love each other anymore kind of hurt me a little bit.
For sure.
I was really torn up about it for the longest time, and then having to get used to, like, seeing my dad at primarily his house or his house, and then seeing my mom at a separate house was pretty difficult. And then going to a new school was really hard, especially with, like, my mom not being there to, like, take me to school or, like, pack my lunch or anything like that. So that was challenging.
It forced you to grow up a little faster, right?
Yeah. And then, just all the stuff in between it, like, still trying to focus on school, still trying to focus on, like, sports and whatnot, because I was still into sports at that time. So just trying to find the balance between parents getting a divorce and being a normal kid. Yeah.
And there's a lot of things I remember from that age. I talk about in my book and stuff like that, but it's just, it forces you to, I mean, for me, I was kind of the man of the household at 13 years old. I mean, my dad wasn't around. So, I mean, and I don't know how that was for you. Were you both close with both your parents? Were they around?
So when my parents split up, me and my sister strategically did this, but we decided that she was going to go live with mom.
Yeah.
And we didn't want dad to be living alone without a child.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to live with him.
Okay.
So we kind of split up there. I went to live with dad for a little bit. Me and my dad did not really get along at all. He had more of, like, a military style parenting approach, which a teenager does not respond well to.
Yeah.
And growing up, it was just, I didn't get to see my mom as often, which also played a huge part in kind of, like, the rebellious stage of that point in my life, too.
That's what came to my head is, sounds like you rebelled a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And my dad was the type of person that it was either his way or nothing else. Yeah. So when I kind of spoke up about, hey, I kind of want to see my mom a little bit more, like, I miss her.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't respond well to that. It's his way and nothing else. And he was kind of in the mindset of, well, that person completely screwed my life over. Why would you ever want to go see her?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's my mom.
Yeah.
Of course I wanted to go see her. And he couldn't comprehend that, unfortunately. So we kind of disagreed there primarily, like, the entire time I lived with them. And then it just got to the point where he was trying to keep me away from her as much as possible. And obviously I didn't like that. And then at some point I just started to rebel so much that it just came to a point where I eventually got my way kicked out of the house.
Okay.
Which is a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I wanted to get kicked out. I wanted to be able to see my mom, and I wanted to live with her. Yeah.
Okay.
So then my mom
What age was
down.
this where you moved back in with your mom?
It was probably around 16 or 17. That's when I got back into my mom's house, and she actually moved to the East Alton Wood River area.
Yeah.
So I could still go to the same school, still play with the same high school team for, like, soccer and whatnot, which was a huge part because I didn't want to leave the people that I grew up with. So she moved down to that area, and then that made that transition a whole lot better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing so many similarities right here, Devin, and thank you for sharing that because I know that's probably not something you anticipated just unpacking right there. But, I mean, for me, I turned to sports, and I rebelled a lot, and I did a lot of dumb things as a kid. But I channeled that energy in a lot of different ways. I mean, Coach G, everything I do, I'm obsessed with. I channel that energy in a whole different way. Mm-hmm. And I see that with you. So move back in with your mom, right? And you still having a rebellious stage at this point?
I mean, somewhat. I was a little bit more like focusing on soccer at that point in my life. Like I was really focusing on sports in general, but primarily soccer because that's what I wanted to go to college and play for.
So let's go back to soccer. Soccer, you started playing since when?
Soccer, I was playing since I was super little, probably since like 3.
So you've been passionate about that since like back in the day. 3.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're playing all through elementary, middle school, all the way to high school. So you've been playing soccer. Was soccer always kind of your outlet?
Soccer, baseball, really sports in general. I played.
You did football though, did you?
No, I experimented with it a little bit, like kicking for like the football team and whatnot. I didn't actually go through with it, but like I would practice doing it and whatnot. But I played a lot of different sports. I played hockey. I played basketball. No, I didn't play basketball in high school. I played it in middle school. But track, soccer, and then baseball. Yeah, like the big ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of what I talked about in Dynasty is football was always there for me. Mm-hmm. And at some points, I mean, my mom was always there for me. Sounds like you have an awesome relationship with your mother, it sounds like. Yeah, she's your rock, same. And it wasn't that way for my father either, and football is kind of where I turned to for that. And would you say that was similar for you or not when it came to sports and baseball and soccer and all these things?
Yeah, because I think it gave me a chance to, like, show what I'm capable of. Yeah. And back, like, especially in that age, like, I always wanted to make sure that even though I wasn't around my dad and even though we stopped talking after the age of 17, I still wanted him to, like, hear my name and see it in the newspaper and make sure that he knew that I am doing a lot better without him. So
same.
I always have that in my back pocket. And I still kind of, I mean, not to the point that I did back then, but I still kind of use that as fuel to, like, keep going.
Wow. That's, very similar. In terms of just, always wanting to prove something, right? Yeah. So do you talk to your dad now?
No.
Mm-mm.
I haven't talked to him since the age of 17. So that's, what is that? Yeah, over 5 years, 7 years. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Well, again, really appreciate you sharing that because I didn't think you expect to talk about that. So thank you.
Yeah.
So just kind of going through high school. I mean, were you a good student in high school or anything like that?
No. I mean, I did what I was supposed to, but it was primarily sports. I didn't pay attention in class whatsoever. I think the high school that I went to, we had like the lowest grade requirement to graduate, which was nice. Yeah. So I didn't really have to perform too well academically, and I could just focus on sports and nothing else. Yeah. Granted, I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention in high school, but at the same time, it is what it is. Yeah. And I still got into the college that I attended, Illinois College, and kind of went from there.
Yeah, so, I mean, did you like high school? Were those good memories for you or not?
Yeah.
You have good friends from high school?
Yeah, I have a lot of good friends that I still talk to from high school.
People at your wedding, a lot of high school friends? Yeah.
Yeah. Two of my best men were from high school. So my friend Adam and Austin, they were both from high school. Very heavily involved with my life growing up throughout high school. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we're already starting to find out some things that make you different and make you who you are. But transitioning from high school to college. So, I mean, we go back there. It sounds like you had a lighthouse, your mom, and then a foghorn, kind of your father in your life at that point.
Yeah.
So transition into college, you go to Illinois College, which is right outside of Springfield. We played them in football. You went there to play soccer. Were you recruited by a bunch of schools, or did you go after them type of deal?
Yeah, no, I vividly remember getting on my laptop in high school and emailing a bunch of different coaches, just seeing who would respond, see who would show up to a game. And I reached out to Illinois College, and their coaching staff actually did show up to the tournament.
So you recruited them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So they showed up to the tournament, and they liked you. Mm-hmm. Yep. And recruited you.
Yeah.
It sounds like. And so right from high school, you go to college at Illinois College, and you play soccer. What did you go to school for there?
Business.
Business.
Yeah.
Okay. And how was college life?
College was good. Freshman year, I was still at the point where I was still a shithead.
Yeah.
So freshman year definitely humbled me. especially like with COVID and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
how did it humble you? People or just the school or what?
All the above.
Yeah.
Like actually having to try to pass like classes and whatnot, and actually having to study for like tests and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, just balancing soccer and just trying to keep my head on straight and not party.
How was that? Yeah, I mean, we never went through that. I mean, I know who you are now, but did you party a lot growing up and drinking, smoking, doing that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, like in high school, yes, I did my fair share. In college, freshman year.
And knowing you probably went 100 miles an hour with everything you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you were a true shitbird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Very similar. I mean, I did a lot of those dumb things, and I hosted the parties in high school and did the drinking in my mom's basement when we were hiding keys and all that stuff. So, yeah, I know where you're at there. So you get to college and you're still partying, you're still doing these things. Now you're having to get grades to stay in school.
Yeah.
Soccer. I mean, I'm sure you're the freshman, right? So how was soccer as a freshman?
Terrifying.
Yeah. Is there bullying that goes on, or like hazing as a freshman in soccer?
No, not in the soccer realm. I mean, there's always going to be seniors that are
but I mean, still, you're the new guy and you're the young kid, and you're the freshman.
Yeah.
So that was a tough year.
And
then, but you decided to keep going, right?
Yeah. So really, my biggest turnaround point in college had to be COVID, and I know a lot of people can probably say the same thing, but COVID just being locked away in my room for the longest time. And
how did that work in college? I don't even know how that worked. That you just had to stay in your room the whole time?
Well, my second semester freshman year is when they sent us home.
Yeah.
And that's when I was away from like all my friends in college, and they were like my support system. They were actually getting me through my freshman year, helping me with like my homework and whatnot. And actually,
COVID was your freshman year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually holding me accountable. Like they were my support system. And without that, I really had to learn how to do things on my own. And COVID, just not like having as many people to talk to, and being at home more often than not, it was a lot more difficult just sitting with my own thoughts and actually realizing who I am. And I quickly realized that is not who I want to be for my entire life. Yeah. So I think that was the biggest turnaround point. It was a very, very dark time during COVID.
Yeah, COVID really forced you to get to know yourself and make some decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but looking back though, COVID was a positive portion for you. So you're forced to go back home. You're in your own thoughts. You're in your own head. Sounds like it's a depressing time.
Yeah.
Just to be out there, and like, what's going on there? How do you get out of that? Like, how do you keep pushing through that?
The biggest thing was the gym.
Yeah.
So
that's when you found the gym?
That is when, I mean, I knew of the gym. Like I was very active, like growing up, like I would go to the soccer park all the time, do workouts, like work on my shots, everything like that. But when I actually like found the gym, especially during COVID, that's when I really like locked in. Yeah. And that's when I started taking it a little bit more seriously and actually started like tracking like what I'm lifting and tracking like how I'm
Who drove you to the gym?
Myself. Yeah.
I mean, were you researching it, or like, I just want to try this out, or like, why did you decide to go into the gym?
I don't know. I mean, growing up, I always liked going to the gym. Yeah. I was a short and stocky kid, like 6th through 8th grade. Yeah. And when you're short and stocky growing up, especially within like the 6th to 8th grade years, it's not fun. I mean, people like, I don't know. For one, they underestimate you. Yeah. For two, they kind of just they make fun of you because you're the short and stocky kid. And I had glasses on top of that, so I was fair game for everyone. Yeah. But I got into the gym like early on in life, and I think it just kind of, the muscle memory just helped me keep going, especially like during the COVID years when I had nothing else to do. Yeah. And just seeing like my progress and seeing like what I was actually capable of in the gym, that motivated me to go like even further as well. Okay. But you really didn't, so you were in the gym in high school or whatnot, but you really started getting back into it in the COVID and started more focusing on physique and bodybuilding and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of what got you out of COVID or got you through COVID. Mm-hmm. And then you go back to school. Sounds like, okay. What's that like? Going back to school, it was a lot better. I was in a lot better headspace. And I remember like coming back to school after COVID, I was a completely different person.
Yeah.
And my friends from college, they could tell you the same exact thing. There was one day it just flipped. Yeah. And everything just kind of changed, like my mindset, my personality, like I was a completely different person, and I carried myself in a different way.
Why was that?
Just going through like something so dark and like actually seeing like that you're not all that and you are kind of a piece of shit. Yeah. It kind of motivates you to
not be one.
Yeah. Yeah. And be at your best.
Yeah.
So just seeing myself in that light, and then seeing myself in the light of what I want to be. Yeah. Like seeing the difference, and that helped me keep going.
So is that when you met Anna around that time?
Yeah. So I met Anna shortly after. And I met her in the gym. Yeah. Surprisingly, right?
Yeah. Sophomore year or junior year, or when was it?
I think that was my sophomore year.
Okay.
So yeah. So sophomore year, we didn't technically meet in the gym. I saw her in the gym, and then not only that, she was my hall director. Yeah. So she had like a bunch of posters around campus and whatnot, like with her name on it, like her phone number and whatnot.
So you scooped the phone number off there?
Yeah. Yeah. I took the phone number. I quickly found out who she was, and shot my shot. Yeah. So then we started talking not shortly after, and then we went on a few dates and whatnot, and then the rest is history. She's my wife now.
Yeah.
So, but
your wife.
Yeah. She started off as my hall director, worked her way into being my girlfriend, and then way into being my fiance.
She worked her way into it like she had to. She had a job. She had a training process.
Right. Yeah. And I would say she played a really big part in who I am as well. Just seeing like the standards that she holds for herself. Yeah. And like seeing the family that she comes from as well. Yeah. Just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see it in a short amount of time being around her. I mean, she just has a huge heart and obviously some strong beliefs or what she thinks. So, and what she does for a living. I mean, that obviously translates. So super cool. So everything's starting to go right a little bit, right? But it sounds like the main thing here and the main takeaway that you would tell anybody watching right here is this was a you problem. Yeah. And you fixed it sounds like, right? Yeah. Talk about that. I mean, somebody that's in that dark place right now, whether an insurance agent or what, watching this, maybe their business is going backwards, or maybe they're not selling anything. Maybe they're losing money. Maybe they're depressed. What would you tell them?
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym?
Go to the gym, yeah. And I know Chuck McDowell, he would love this part.
Yeah, he said
it on here. He said, if you want to double your income, go to the gym every morning. Yeah. And that's exactly how I feel. Yeah. I think if you go to the gym, and even if you're just doing cardio, you don't have to do anything crazy. Just start with the basics. You know, maybe walk on the treadmill, maybe do the stair climb or whatever you want. But as long as you're trying to put in the effort and you're actually trying to like make sure there is progress, you're going to see a lot more like mental benefits, and you're also going to see some physical benefits as well, which in turn helps your perspective like towards yourself and your self-esteem, and that can truly change who you are. Yeah. And just, I mean, discipline. Right. I mean, showing up for something. Yeah. I mean, all those different things. But you think it's that simple, and I don't disagree with you. So that's awesome. So that's been a huge thing for you now. I mean, obviously, we'll probably get into that a little bit on the fire round. So junior, senior year, soccer, are you now you starting? You see in the field, or what's going on there on the soccer side? No, and to be fully transparent, I wasn't all that great at soccer. Like I was good. Like I was above average for sure. But you were just passionate about it. It's something you want to do. Yeah. And it was just a fun thing to do, like in my free time. Yeah. More than anything, and it kept me out of trouble as well. It kept me disciplined, and it kept me on a routine, which was nice. But yeah. Would you consider yourself one of the hardest workers on the soccer team? Yeah, especially during my high school years. Yeah, during the college years, like I was really focusing my energy on, like I was being a hard worker, like while playing and whatnot. Yeah. But I really fell in love with the gym a little too much. So being a soccer player and being a gym rat, they don't really go too well because you run off a lot of muscle very quickly. So when I found the gym, and I found my passion for the gym, my passion for soccer kind of faded pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I realized instead of being maybe a slightly above average soccer player, why not just focus on academics and focus on the weight room.
So did you finish soccer in college, or did you quit? No.
Nope. I stopped playing like halfway through my junior year.
Just because you wanted to be in the gym, and that was more important to you.
Yeah, and focus on my academics, and that's also when I met my wife.
Yep.
And I was never really good at like schoolwork growing up, so just also seeing her like perform so well academically, that motivated me to perform well academically as well. And soccer, gym, academics, part-time job, it was just a lot. So I had to cut something out, and it just so happened to be soccer.
Yeah.
So I could primarily
What were you doing for part-time work?
Part-time work, in high school, I was pushing carts at Walmart. In college, I had 2 different jobs. So I worked at Home Depot for a little bit, just as a cashier. I don't know anything about home improvement.
Big Orange Promise.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a cashier. I did some carts there as well. I loved pushing carts.
You threw some carts around it.
I was so good at it. Yeah. Pushing carts throughout college as well, and being a cashier. And then I actually did an internship in college at Sherwin-Williams.
Paint.
Yeah. Didn't know anything about paint either.
Spent a lot of time in the home improvement sector.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell you why either.
Yeah.
But I did the internship. Didn't really get a whole lot out of the internship other than it was like putting my foot in the door.
Yeah.
And it was giving me some type of work experience.
Yeah.
And then that's primarily what I did throughout college was Sherwin-Williams and then Home Depot.
Yeah. Did those teach anything about discipline or working or showing up or anything?
No, because it was part-time. So like I was just going to pay for beer.
Yeah.
Throughout college, I was just going to have money in my account.
Yeah.
Having $1,000 in my account was a lot in high school, and especially college.
Yeah.
So that's primarily why I did it. I didn't really care about actually developing as like a person within the workforce and whatnot. So
So you finished out college with a business degree, correct? Mm-hmm. Did you want to get into business?
No, it was just kind of what was easiest.
Well, most people would consider that the easiest.
Yeah.
So you wrap up college, right? And what happens then?
My first job out of college was my first full-time job out of college was at AT&T, just selling phones, selling.
So you jumped straight into sales.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Slinging phones.
Yeah.
And
selling
where
phones.
At?
AT&T in Springfield.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I worked there for about 4 months. Very quickly, I became like one of the top reps there, which was cool.
Why?
I really applied a lot, like what I did academically, like my later years in college, to what I was doing at AT&T. So I was studying the plans. I was studying the product. I was really trying to make sure I knew absolutely everything I could to put more money in my account. So I think that translated really well, and I figured out very quickly that, hey, as long as I'm myself with these people and as long as I understand what I'm talking about, there's no reason why they're not leaving the store without a phone.
Yeah.
And I would have, obviously, I'm glad it didn't pay well because I probably would have stayed there, but very quickly I realized this is not.
What did that pay? What'd you make when you sold a phone?
Nothing crazy at all. No, it was like I was projected to make maybe $40,000.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't anything crazy.
You're in sales at that point. So, you studied the product and all this stuff, but how'd you learn how to sell?
I think it's just one of those things that came naturally. When I really truly learned how to sell, it was in the car business.
Yeah.
And how I got into the car business was I got enough money to buy a car while working at AT&T. Yeah. So I went to the local dealership to buy my car. Yeah. I drive a Honda Civic.
Blacked out Honda Civics. Yeah.
Blacked out. Yeah. 5% tint.
Yeah.
But I went to the dealership to buy the car, And shortly after I bought the car, I was talking with the salesperson there, trying to kind of pick his brain on what he does, trying to compare it to what I do. And
like you're picking his brain on his job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to figure out like what his pay structure looks like, how much he's making.
And why were you asking that? You're just curious? Like, yeah.
I just was really curious about like, okay, so you're in sales, you're selling cars.
Yeah.
I'm selling phones. I really want to see how comparable it is. And see if I could perform well in this type of field.
Yeah. So you're selling phones for 4 or 5 months. You go buy a car,
mm-hmm.
and then you start picking this guy's brain about, and then what happens?
He just kind of threw out the question of, why don't you just try to sell cars?
Yeah.
You could try it for a couple months, see if you like it, and if you don't like it, you can just go back to AT&T.
Yeah.
So I was like...
Very simple presentation. Like, why don't you just try it? Yeah, you're interested in it. Why don't you just try it?
And I was at the point where, like, I'm young.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I need to experiment.
Yeah.
Even though my family wasn't really too crazy about me going from a job that has a base salary to a job that has purely a commission structure.
Yeah.
I knew that if he's making the money that he's making, I'm fully capable of it.
Did he tell you how much he was making?
Yeah.
What did he tell you he's making?
He was he's one of the top salespeople there, and he was probably clearing well over $200,000.
Yeah. Okay.
A year. Yeah.
So was he recruiting you? Like, did he make money off you, or did he just like, okay?
No.
He just like, why don't you try it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was making 200 G's, and you're like, okay, I can do that.
Right.
So how long did it take you to leave AT&T after that conversation?
So I started at AT&T, I think in June. I forget what year, 2023, June 2023, and then shortly after I started in October of 2023, that's when I fully transitioned to the car business.
Okay.
So not very long at all.
Yeah, yeah. And talk to us about, we've talked a lot about the car business, and I think this will be a juicy part of it. Talk to us about the car business. Talk to us about being a car salesman.
Yeah, that's what really shaped me into the salesperson I am today. Being a car salesperson is incredibly humbling.
Yeah.
Especially
we know a lot of insurance agents that have made that transition from car sales to insurance sales. And everybody tells me the same exact thing. So I can't wait for you to tell us about the car sales.
Just starting out, like you're trying to obviously understand the products. You need to get good at your walk-arounds. You need to understand the vehicle. You need to know what you're selling.
Yeah.
That was obviously a little bit tricky for me. I came from... I had no cars experience before I started at the dealership. And all I knew was to get my oil change. That was just about it. So trying to learn like all the hot features, like the engine size and like the horsepower and all that stuff to really make like the product actually like pop to the customer. That was probably the difficult part. Not as difficult as like the sales process. Yeah. That's easily the most... That's the hardest part of the job. It's incredibly humbling. It's embarrassing. You're fumbling over your words. You're shaking when you're holding the pen for them to sign. It's also a little bit slimy as well, and you know it is a little bit slimy when you're selling the car, especially like when you're first starting. Like, I'm ripping this person off, and I can't tell them that I'm ripping them off, or I'm not going to make money. Yeah. So, and you're taught that that's okay to rip people off. Yeah. And that's, it's crazy because all the people I talk to in the car industry, they all say the same thing. And it's like, I feel like you see a lot of the car sale, the Andy Ellis, whoever out there, and it's just like, man, there's so much margin and markup and all this thing in the car industry. But talk to us about that. Explain to somebody watching, like, what do you mean by ripping somebody off, like in the margin in a car sale? Well, if you're selling, you should never buy a car full sticker ever. Even if they say we've marked it down and all that, it's never the best never price. Pay full sticker. That's step number one, and you should never just shop at one dealership. That's number two. If you are like in the car buying process, you need to shop multiple dealerships, and you need to get multiple numbers and multiple figures from different dealerships so you can compare and tell this dealership that they gave you this price, and tell this dealership that they gave you this price, and you're making them basically fight against each other. But there is a lot of markup. Like, I wouldn't say as much in new vehicles as there is in used vehicles.
Yeah.
There's a lot more markup in used vehicles because you have to think when you're bringing a car in and you're trading in your car, they give you like a specific price, right?
Yeah.
And then you then have to go, or as a salesperson, you have to go then sell it at a price that is not the price that you brought it in at.
Yeah.
So typically that could range like from $4,000 to $6,000 above what you brought it in for.
Yeah.
And then you're usually getting like, after like maintenance and whatnot and the detailing and whatnot, you have to take out like fees for that. But usually you're making 30% of maybe, I don't know, probably closer to like $4,000. So you
were getting around 30% of whatever the profit was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And basically you were in control of that, of negotiating the deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you wanted to sell a car and somebody's like, well, I can't afford this, you had wiggle room.
Right.
To do that. You personally, or did you have to have that approved every time?
Like, no. Yeah, we had to have that approved by management.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I were working numbers with you right now and I split out the number sheet and I said, okay, so the MSRP of this vehicle is, or the retail value of this vehicle is $12,000.
Yeah.
We are selling it for $10,324.
Yeah.
Then you say,
I can't do that.
I can't do that. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Especially after tax, title, and license.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Then I'll have to say, I mean, the retail value is $12,000. You can see that we're coming down roughly $2,000.
Yeah.
Let me go see what I can do. And then that's when I go up to the management desk, and that's when I try to get them to like come down on the price a little bit. And if we can't come down, then I have to go back into that office and I have to say, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you want the vehicle, that's the price. And if you don't, there's nothing really I can do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And you have to say that even if you know there is still a little bit more room.
Yeah.
Because if you want to make money,
and if they walk, the chances are you will come down eventually or not.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, literally you're taught to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to, I mean, sell for markup. Okay. So talk to us about that year. I mean, you're learning sales, whether ethical or non-ethical or whatever you would say about that, but you're learning sales. So talk to us about, how long were you in the car business for?
Over a year. So
over
probably a year and a half.
Okay. Talk to us about 18 months in the car business. What did you learn and what?
Yeah. So starting out, again, it's product knowledge, getting to know the products and whatnot, but the sales process is really the most humbling experience. So you have to, you meet the customer, you ask them qualifying questions like, okay, what kind of vehicle are you looking for? What price range are you looking for? Do you have like a specific mileage that you're trying to stay under? Like what qualities are important to you when it comes to a vehicle? Do you need an all-wheel drive? Do you need an SUV? Do you need a sedan? What does that look like? And then you're trying to
really
pick
taking
out,
them through a client needs assessment
right,
in a different version. You're understanding what's important to them, right?
Exactly.
That's the flow is really the same no matter what you're selling, right? You're finding out what's important to them. You're building rapport. Got it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. And then you're picking out a vehicle, and you're hoping that vehicle is really gonna mean something to them.
Yeah.
So then you're picking out the vehicle. You're going over like the features, the mileage, if it's all-wheel drive, if it's not all-wheel drive. You're doing your walk around, so you're going over different features, like this has adaptive cruise control, this has lane keep assist, road departure mitigation. It has.
Well, you heard me talking this morning. I said don't sell on the features. Remember that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, why in my mind, why are you going through all these features on there?
You're trying to create value.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make.
It's a different type of sale too.
Yeah.
You're selling a want rather than a need, right?
Right.
Okay. So you're walking through all the features. Keep going.
Yeah. So we're going over the walk around. We're going over the features. If it has a power tailgate, if it has like an auto dimming rear view mirror, blind spot monitor system, whatever it is. And then you're saying, are we ready to take this for a spin?
Yeah.
And then you're getting them on the test drive. Then once you get the plate, you come back outside, you put the plate on the car, you hop in the car with them, and you have to go on that test drive with them. It's a big no-no. They can go by themselves, but it is a big no-no to let them go by themselves. And the reason for that is because you don't want to lose anything on that test drive. Because if there's something that they're hearing, like maybe there's an engine sound that is going on, if like there's something.
You don't have a chance to address an objection.
Exactly, right. You have to be on the test drive, and you have to be pointing out different features. You have to be asking them qualifying questions like, isn't this nice? Like, you like the color, right?
Yeah.
It picks up pretty quick. Like,
handling objections before they come. Yep.
Yeah. Did you see how like it handled, how it picked up when you were merging onto the highway? Wasn't that pretty nice?
Yeah.
And then throughout the test drive, you're just going over, again, different features and whatnot, and then you eventually make your way back to the dealership.
Yeah.
And then once you make your way back to the dealership, then you're asking him the big question, which is, so it sounds like we may have found the one. Are we ready to take this vehicle home? And you're putting them right in the spot. And usually it's like, oh, no, I'm not ready to do anything today, and all that stuff. But then it's like, well, let's at least go inside, look at some figures, and see what we can accomplish to make sure that this vehicle. What does Andy Ellis say?
Of course I haven't given you enough information.
Right.
Yeah.
And see what it's going to take to get this vehicle in your driveway.
Yeah.
And then you're going inside and you're working numbers. You're getting them in your office. You're asking them if they need anything to drink. You're trying to make them feel a little bit more comfortable within that office, because it is very hostile.
Yeah, because you know people are trying to sell you something. It's a big purchase. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially being a car salesperson, like you're well hated.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, there's not many people that enjoy the car buying experience.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then you're going back and forth with the manager. You're getting that first round of numbers, and then you're coming back into the office, and you're putting the number right in front of them. Yeah. And you're saying,
"This is the biggest ripoff.
This is the price. Yeah. This is the price. This is your financing options. I just need you to circle and sign a payment that works best for you, and then we'll get this thing wrapped up." Yeah. And then you're sitting there and you're waiting. Yeah. Waiting for an objection, waiting for them to come back at you with, "I cannot afford this," whatever it is, or you're waiting for them to pick up the pencil and sign.
How many times does somebody just pick something? I mean, percentage-wise, do you think?
Like pick up the pencil and sign?
Yeah.
A lot. And that's the reason why a lot of car salespeople make a lot of money. Is because people aren't really aware that as soon as you pick up that pencil and sign, especially if it's that first round of numbers, they just made a ton of money off of you. Yeah. Because you didn't fight at all. You didn't ask for all season mats. You didn't ask for a discount on the price. You didn't ask for anything. You circled and signed a payment that is an estimated monthly payment based upon what you look like and what your credit score looks like. Yeah. So you can make a lot of money in the car business because people aren't really as aware of that as most people. Yeah. But I mean, there are going to be people that will fight you on the price and try to get you down as much as possible. But you still, at the end of the day, have to do your job.
So did you have formal training?
I mean, the formal training was
shadowing somebody.
No. It was mostly just learning products and figuring it out, and then learning on the way.
And it's really, from what you describe, a dog-eat-dog world there. It's like you said on the way over here that no one wanted to see you win in the car business. Yeah. It was, you were competing against other salespeople to get the inventory and the cars and all those different things. I mean, that's one of the things you speak about. I mean, let's talk about that. Why didn't you just keep going in the car business?
Yeah, so I mean, you create a lot of bad relationships with your colleagues. Yeah. And it obviously gets to the point where you don't want to do it anymore.
Why though? Why is there such bad relationships internally?
The biggest thing is, I mean, you are all getting the same opportunities.
Same car, yeah.
You're waiting outside, and this is primarily of like what my day consisted of. So I'd walk into the dealership, I'd figure out my task, I'd follow up with clients who have previously made their way into the dealership that I didn't sell the first time. Yeah. Following up with them, and then I'm going straight out to the lot. Yeah. And going straight out to the lot to see who's pulling into the dealership, seeing who's ready to buy a car. Yeah. And whoever steps towards that car first
gets it. And there's always probably a little bit of like who stepped first type deal.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean and especially if, like, let's just say a Camaro came on the lot. There's only one Camaro on the lot that you get to sell. So it's like whoever gets to sell that, probably there's a lot more margin and a more expensive car too. So yeah, I mean you're creating a lot of friction because it's It's a customer comes in, it's whoever gets to them first.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It's not like, hey, we got enough food for everybody. It's like, here's the food, and whoever gets it gets it. Right. Yeah, that is a dog-eat-dog world. So that created that initially. What else?
I mean, obviously, not being truthful to your customers kind of sucked. You were constantly stressing, like, these people hate me. Like, they're not going to come back to buy another car. They're completely unsatisfied with their experience. And that wasn't the case, but it's just how it felt. Yeah. Because you're selling them, and you're making a lot more money on what could have been a Mini, which a Mini is like the least amount that you can make on a car. Yeah. And you're overselling. It's not a good feeling.
So what made you say, okay, this is not for me? It's all that you just said?
All of it like repeating itself. Yeah. Like it just kept going. It kept building. The tension kept building.
Do you feel like all that progress you made on yourself that we had talked about was you were starting to regress at all? No. Never there. It's just, hey, I needed something different. And it sounds like you kind of mastered the phone sales. You mastered the car sales. What is like, I need something different or?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that was it. So what'd you do?
Well, I mean, in the car business, there is a lot of downtime. So you're on the lot, but at the same time, when you're on the lot, there are not customers coming in at all times of the day. It's usually one car pulls in like maybe every hour, unless it's a Saturday. But within that downtime, you can't really do a whole lot other than stare at your phone. Yeah. So staring at my phone obviously resulted in me scrolling through Indeed. Yeah. And that's how I found your application on Indeed. And
did you apply any other places?
So I did. I didn't hear back from those places. Yeah. So I'm glad it kind of worked out the way it did. Yeah.
Or were you wanting to stay in sales? Did you know that? Yeah. So hey, sales is my thing. I'm going to stay in sales. Mm-hmm. So you're scrolling through Indeed. In full transparency, you are the only person we've hired from Indeed this day. Mm-hmm. We're about to hire one more out of the 28, 30 people that work for us. So you're scrolling through Indeed. You found ours. What stood out? I mean, I didn't know. I've never seen what our Indeed looks like. I don't even do it.
I mean, it was very similar, like to like what I was doing. Yeah. Except it was all like over the phone. Yeah. Not necessarily in person. And it sounded like, I mean, I quickly like picked up on Medicare is something that people need. Yeah. So that made that decision a little bit easier, but just seeing how comparable it was to what I'm doing now. Yeah. And seeing that it may be a little bit better of a work environment kind of.
Yeah. I mean, from day one, you talked about work environment. Yeah. So, I mean, going back to that real quick, I mean, work environment, it was just unhealthy, needed something more, and you saw this, you felt like, hey, still commission sales, which you knew you were good at, something that people needed in a better environment. So you reached out, scheduled an interview, kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, so starting out, like after I filled out that application and Chris reaching out to me shortly after, I was super nervous. I was super skeptical. I was looking up I was looking up your Google reviews, and I was like, this seems like way too good to be true. Like,
why is that? We heard that this week too, and I want to know, like, what seems too good to be true about the industry that we're in?
Well, I wouldn't say it's because of the Indeed listing. It was more of like when I got on, I guess, the phone call, like with Chris, just him telling me like all the different opportunities I would have, and him telling me like, you're not going to be fighting for leads. Yeah. You're going to have a lead system.
Which makes sense because you're used to doing all these things. It's like, what? Right. So you're skeptical. Yeah. So keep going.
Yeah. So we're getting like leads coming and putting directly on our calendar. We get a bunch of people to talk to throughout the day. They come to us. We don't chase after them. Yeah. The renewals process of the business, I was a little bit skeptical of as well. So you're telling me I can make the same amount of money that I made the previous year, the following year. Yep. That was kind of the...
wasn't clicking.
Yeah.
Because you're used to just turning inventory, and you got to keep doing it, right?
Exactly.
Got to keep doing it. Yeah. So far, has it been everything that you signed up for?
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I mean, I did really well in the car business. Like, I cleared over 6 figures my first year. Yeah. So, like, I could have very well stayed in the car business, and I knew that. Yeah. So, but I was still, at the same time, I was willing to do a little bit, or I was trying to experiment a little bit more. So I was trying to see if something else could work out.
Let's talk about that real quick, because I have a lot of people that come to me making six figures that don't make that decision.
Yeah.
That are safe, but they hate their job, they hate their life, all those different things. What made you say, okay, I'm making 100K, but I'm going to go ahead and start back at zero, and I don't care, right? What made you do that?
Well, the biggest part was seeing, talking to Chris first, and having that conversation with him, what the job actually looks like, what it consists of on a daily basis, what the pay structure looks like, how many policies you can sell a day, how many opportunities you get a day, and then not only that, just seeing what you're building. I looked into your Instagram and whatnot. I know a lot of new hirees, they do the same thing.
Yeah, you've researched the company, researched Coach G, researched everything. Yeah, and you get to know somebody through doing that. Right. I mean, we always talk about the assumption gap, right? Because you're over here, we're over here. Right. In between here and here is a big gap. And all you got to do is that brain up there just fills it with whatever you think. Like, oh, this is just like the car sales or whatever. Then you start watching and reading all this stuff, and it starts filling that gap a little bit for you. It starts filling your assumption with a real narrative. So you started doing that. What'd you find?
Yeah, I saw what you are building.
Yeah,
and that inspired me to hey, this is kind of a small company. This is my chance to put my foot in the door and really work my way up, which has been great so far.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been promoted in what, 6 months?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So you came in, when did you start?
I started in March.
March?
Yeah, March.
And we promoted
first
you
week of March.
October, right? Okay. Started first week of March. But anything else you want to touch in on that transition? What helped you make the jump before we get into it?
Gosh, there was one other thing that I wanted to mention.
Yeah, you were going and I cut you off. I'm sorry.
It was... It had to do with Chris recruiting me and just having the conversation with him, having the conversation with you, the interview with Trav and whatnot.
And I'll give some tips. I mean, looking back to your interviews, I always come in at the very end of them, talk to the person for 5 minutes just to make sure there's no major red flag. Mm-hmm. You were very prepared. I mean, you were talking to us about Medicare. You remember that, Trav? He's talking to us about Medicare, and I'm like, why is he trying to tell us about that's our job's to train you, and you're trying to tell us about all this stuff you knew about Medicare. You're like, I know about A and B and whatever. I'm like, whoa, Nelly, we don't need to know that yet. But my point being is you had already researched it. It was very apparent and obvious. So anybody watching out there, I mean, as much as you're looking into us or the company you're pursuing, we're looking into you. And that stuff stood out to me big time with you, is that you were already ahead of anybody that had reached out to us, just doing some investigation, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, I had to make sure I was doing my research before I fully committed. I was super skeptical, just like anyone else would be. I mean, coming from a six-figure background to potentially not a six-figure background, which it worked out for me. But for some people, it may be a little bit scary because it may not work for them. Yeah. But I knew if I applied myself the way I did, the way I applied myself in the car business, I could find success anywhere. Yeah. And one of the big things that actually, you don't know this, Trav doesn't know this, but I originally applied thinking that this job was going to come with a base salary. Yeah. And then in the interview is when I really found out that base salary is temporary. Yeah. It comes with 3 months.
3 months,
and then after that 3 months, you're on your own. But just having that 3 months where I could truly lock in, truly study everything I needed to know and get me ready for after that 3 months when I was going to be purely commission again, which I was used to in the car business. Having that 3 month base salary, it made that transition a little bit more comfortable. Yeah. And I was fully confident with myself and my learning ability to pick up on Medicare and pick up on the sales process, because every sales job has a sales process. You just have to learn how to follow it, and you have to learn the product knowledge or learn the product, I should say. Yeah. And then go from there. The rest is easy.
So you made the jump. Mm-hmm. And what would you say, real quick, before we wrap that portion up? Somebody out there, why don't people make the jump? What prevents somebody from doing that?
I mean, it does depend on where they're at. Like if they're coming from a base salary already, and going on to a purely commissionable job only. Yeah. I think it comes down to they can't see themselves making a living, and they feel like they're having to constantly fight to make a living.
Yeah.
Which is not the case. I mean, if you're applying yourself the same way that you apply yourself at that base salary job, you're going to make a lot more money than you would at that base salary job, because your commissions are uncapped. You can make literally whatever you want, as long as you're willing to put in the work and you have a strong work ethic and you're willing to apply yourself to the products and the sales process.
Yeah. Would you ever go to a base salary now?
No.
Period. It doesn't matter what it was.
I tried it at AT&T and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was like a 9 to 5. I worked weekends.
Yeah.
No,
and that's part of our model, is we built it to attract people like you that thrive off of uncapped earning potential. Is because when you have a capped earning potential, you get capped mindsets, right? And that's a big thing. Is we want. I mean, I want our agents to be partners, not employees. Yeah. And that's what we've done. So I'm super proud of that. But we transition into, you start working. I look back. I mean, you didn't have a stellar first month or two.
No.
Right? So you come on, and we do. I mean, this isn't the car business. We have a pretty intense training process. Like, we are monitoring and going over everything. And what I've seen now is really after that 2-month window, everybody has this breakthrough. But talk to us about your first 2 months.
It was awesome. Those first 3 months working with Trav were incredible, simply because even though I was switching jobs, and obviously I was risking the chance of not making 6 figures again, just having Trav there and having him structure like trainings and teaching me about Medicare, teaching me about the sales process, having like a flow of how every single day would go throughout the week.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Just having like a structure and having a schedule of like, we're going to be training on this today. Tomorrow we're going to be training on this. Tomorrow we're going to be training on that.
Yep.
Just having that structure and having that guidance from Travis just made the transition incredibly simple.
Yeah. And just having an actual roadmap.
Right.
Where it doesn't sound like you had that in the car business, more figured out on your own.
Exactly. Yeah. So I remember the first day, he printed out a schedule and he gave it to me, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. Hour by hour.
Awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
So you get that schedule. You're in there the first month, but I mean, I don't think you sold really a policy in the first month.
No.
Did you? Yeah.
No, I was mostly doing my licensing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
and that's changed a bit. We try to not bring in somebody unless they're licensed prior, because that can't hold things up. So that's expedited at number one. But what were the biggest struggles for you? I mean, and to be transparent, let's talk some numbers right now. We're wrapping up the end of 2025, and you have over $300,000 in revenue. And really, you didn't start selling your first policy until what, May?
April.
So,
well, probably, mid-April, yeah.
Yeah, mid-April, first policy. I mean, we're not talking anything crazy, just a couple policies in April. And now you finished with over $300,000 in revenue, which, to be completely transparent, that's revenue to the company. That doesn't mean Devin made $300,000 revenue to the company. Mm-hmm. Devin gets a split off that, which is freaking insane amount of revenue and apps in a short amount of time. But it wasn't that easy at first. What are those struggles that you had on the front end?
Learning insurance in general, like it can be super tricky. I mean, we talk to clients every day that and we can see that it's not a very simple product to pick up on. And then on top of that, you're trying to figure out like different portals. You're trying to figure out like what Aetna has to offer, what Guaranteed Trust Life has to offer, what American Liberty Life has to offer, whatever it is. Yeah. You're trying to figure all of that out while going through different portals and trying to figure out how they work, and really trying to explain the product to the client in a way that doesn't sound like what it actually is. Because insurance is very complex, but if you actually understand the product, you can simplify it in a way to make it sound less complex. So
that's what we talk about is simplicity, right? Because confused buyers do not buy.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you're talking about, no one's going to buy. So product knowledge was a huge piece for you.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, looking back, I mean, you studied everything about the phone, you studied everything about the cars. Like, for you really need to know everything about something before you can appropriately position it and sell it.
Exactly.
It sounds like.
Yeah. The sales process is really top tier, but you have to know what you're talking about in order to have success within that sales process. Yeah. So product knowledge is really over anything else. I mean, sales process is very good. Like you're going to get far with the sales process alone, but you still have to know what you're talking about.
Oh, absolutely. So pairing product knowledge with an incredible sales process is really the keys to the Cadillac, right?
Exactly.
The car terms. Get that?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you start having some success. What leads you to, so April, you start spitting out some apps and all of a sudden it just takes off quick. What happens?
The biggest thing that clicked for me was, I mean, after every conversation I had with clients and whatnot, I was going directly to my leader, which was Travis. Yep. And I was constantly picking his ear on what went
so
wrong,
important.
What can I be doing better? And trying to figure out, like, okay, so she said her situation was this. I didn't really know how to come back from that.
Yep.
And he kind of just walks me through the process of this is what you should have done. And obviously just that alone just carries into my next calls, and it just starts to snowball. Yep. And I start to move with a little bit more momentum. But the true, like, clicking point was when I realized I don't have to sell a Medicare policy. I can sell
that was a turning point.
I can sell a cancer, heart attack, and stroke policy. I can sell skilled nursing coverage after day 100 in a skilled nursing facility. I can sell literally anything else but a Medicare policy if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, that's when the sales started really to come. And then obviously the knowledge about like Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, they came along with that. And I was able to take the knowledge that I had from the ancillary products and package that with Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage plan.
Well, I think something really important there, though, is as soon as you got done with a prospect and you didn't sell them, you were very critical of yourself, and you went and talked to Travis, your leader, and you said, here's what I did. Why didn't it work? Mm-hmm. Right? So we don't lose, we learn, right? And that's a huge portion of it is, I mean, I remember when I was doing this on my own, I was driving the car and I'd leave the house and I'd be like, what could I do better? What did I do wrong? Or I'd call somebody and talk through with it. And it's just so critical of every opportunity is an opportunity to take it and tweak it so it doesn't happen again, right? And I think that was a critical point, something you do really well and something you teach people very well. And you had that breakthrough, right? So a lot of people come to us for this, right, is the packaging, the ancillary portion. Yeah, we mentioned Medicare a lot so far. We're talking about Medicare, right? But that is, when you break it down, that's less than 30% of our revenue is actually Medicare because we have all these other different products to offer. Mm-hmm. And when positioned correctly, it doesn't matter if somebody's purchasing a Medicare. They come to you for the Medicare, but there's a lot of other things they need that they're not aware of. So you found out how to do that and quickly took off there.
Yeah, exactly.
So take me through, I mean, you're having success right now that no one in that amount of time has. What do you think prevents somebody from having this kind of success that you're having? If I'm watching this as an agent, there should be a lot of agents watching this. People have been doing this for 20 years that haven't done $300,000 in revenue in a year.
Yeah.
Why are you doing $300,000 in revenue a year?
I just kind of talked about this with my team as well, and it's a little bit fresh. So, I mean, obviously the biggest part is you have to have a sales process. You cannot pivot from the sales process. You have to follow it to a T.
Every time.
Every single call. You have to treat every call the same exact way. And then not only that, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to have the product knowledge. You have to know what each carrier has to offer, how it can benefit your client, and you have to understand how it can benefit your client. Not only that, you have to believe in the product. So you have to actually believe in what you're selling and be passionate about what you're selling.
Yep.
And then third would have to be
transfer your conviction. Can you transfer your conviction in the product?
Yeah. And third being you have to be comfortable with being told no. And a lot of times you're not even told no. You're told, I need to think about it. Yep. Can you send all this in an email? You're told everything but no, but at the same time, it's mostly a no.
Right.
You have to be comfortable with being told no, and you have to find ways to pivot around that. You have to find a new perspective that they may not be seeing at first. You have to make sure you're going back to like their family history. You have to go back to what their current coverage is offering, and if they have a high max out of pocket, if they have a high deductible, you have to play that into your recommendation, and you have to truly make them understand this is the risk of not having it.
Right.
And you have to be comfortable with them.
You have to sell the outcome of what happens if you don't have this.
Yeah.
Right? We're not selling the features. We're not selling the bells and whistles. What happens if you have it? What happens if you don't have it?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
We have to make sure they see both of those things.
Yeah. And being comfortable with being told no, that came a lot from the car business just because you get no's.
You probably heard a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. It's right in front of you. They're sitting right in front of you and they're telling you no. They're telling you, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
And just having that experience, that has helped me be very comfortable with being told no and finding ways to find a new perspective that they may not be seeing. So those are the big three. And then I would say the fourth being losing a customer service voice. That's one of the things I
saw you right the other day. Can't stand it.
That's one of the big things that I picked up on very quickly in the car business. I mean, I don't like walking into a restaurant and hearing somebody like sit me down at a table or maybe like go over my menu options.
Hey, sweetie, my name is Devin, and I'll be taking care of you today.
Right. Yeah. Just talk to me like how I'm talking to you right now.
Right.
And that truly resonates with people because I'm talking to them like a human. I'm talking to them like I'm sitting on their couch.
Yep.
And that can make your sales a lot more efficient. And it's not really sales at that point. You're making a recommendation, and you sound more like a friend rather than a salesperson.
Yep.
And then on top of all of that, you have to have a good follow-up. You have to have, okay, so this is what we enrolled in today. This is why we enrolled into it. I'm going to send all your policy documents. I'm going to make sure we follow up with you every once in a while to make sure you receive those policy documents. And I'm going to be your agent from here on out. I'm going to make sure I'm going to be here for annual reviews. We're going to review these policies on an annual basis, see if we need to make any adjustments, whatever it is. And then not only that, if any questions come up in the meantime, make sure we're meeting and going over anything that you might have concerns about.
Yeah.
And make sure that they know that this is not a one-time or a one-stop shop. I am going to be your agent for the remainder of your life, and I'm going to be here until death. So
there it is, the 5-minute breakdown of how to be an incredible agent.
Exactly.
Right? It's not that hard, is it?
No. I think that 5 pillars of success in sales.
That's what it was. You sent the text message, the 5 pillars of success in sales. We'll have to get that and post it. So now you're stepping into leadership. Mm-hmm. Okay. So within 6 months, you've been elevated into leadership. You now have a team of 5, 6, 7 agents, 6 or 7 agents starting 2026. What has been the biggest challenge or foreseeable challenge of stepping into leadership? Because you've never been in a leadership role in anything you've been in. Are you excited about it? Did you want to be a leader?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're in leadership.
Super excited. And I was never like really in the leadership position, like even through sports in like high school or college. Yeah. So this was very new to me, and finding like, I mean, I am a people person. Like I can create good friendships with people, and I know how to like thrive with different people. Yeah. Or finding unique ways to thrive with people. But being a leader was a little bit tricky at first just because, I mean, you kind of have to, you don't have to take necessarily a full-on authoritative approach, but at some point you have to make sure you're showing some signs of maturity and holding your team accountable, which is not something I'm necessarily used to, like, and no one really is used to holding people accountable unless you have, like, maybe experience as like a father, like as a mother, whatever it is. Yeah. But just that experience alone, obviously, I didn't have much experience with.
Yeah. So just having tough conversations and having to hold people accountable and again, having to work on yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So those are 3 big things. And do you feel like that's pushing you in a different way right now?
Yeah. Just having like a team come to me, like with questions on what they can be doing better, like how they can handle certain objections, what they're not doing within their sales process, that they can be doing better. Just having that come to me directly is like an awesome feeling, and me being able to figure out how to solve their problems. Is that fulfilling for you? Yeah, it's very, very fulfilling.
Yeah, I mean, this career is so rewarding because it's financially rewarding, it's culturally rewarding. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can ascend and lead and take on a lot of different roles. So right now, financially, I mean, we talk about numbers a lot on this. I mean, you're making $15,000 to $20,000 a month. It's really doubled your income from the car business of what you're doing right now. And I mean, where do you see, you're at A right now, where do you see B being for you in the future? What are some goals for Devin? What does the future look like for Devin and Devin's family?
Well, I really want to work my way into Coach G.
Yeah.
But
I
want to continue to develop myself as a leader.
Yep.
I want to continue to develop myself as a professional. In turn, hopefully that will make me more money.
Yeah.
But really the biggest thing is I want to develop as a person and as a human being. So my biggest goal is not only to provide for myself, but it is to provide for the people around me. Like my mom, for example, she did so much for us growing up on such little income. And just having that in my back pocket and having that to look at, like, it motivates me to want to provide for not only her, for my wife, for my grandparents, whoever it is. Like, I want to make sure I'm at the point at some point in my life where I can make sure that they're taken care of in the best way possible. Yeah. Just like they did for me when I was on my way up. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You feel like you're on the way?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, talk about the industry. Do you see yourself being in this industry for decades, or do you see this as this is a career for you? I mean, that's one thing I always ask people on the phone. I don't know if you remember me asking that. I said, Devin, there's really only one question I have for you. Is this a job for you, or is this a career? Yeah. And you said you saw this as a career. Do you still see that path for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you said no, it'd be kind of awkward.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll stick with the yes for now. So we'll transition here. This has been great to the fire round, get to know you a little bit better. I mean, we know your Jim. What else do you do in your free time?
That's it. Jim. We'll watch Modern Family occasionally. But no, it's Jim. Hanging out with the wife. She's my best friend. She's my superpower. Yep. She does a lot for me that a lot of people don't see. Yep. She makes meals for me all the time. Make sure I'm well taken care of for like my lunch, and she does a lot for me. So it's spending time with her, going to the gym with her, and continuing, like, just constantly finding ways to better myself and better ourself and our future. Yeah. So that's primarily my main focus right now, and really nothing else. Yeah.
What about podcast, books, things that you do to mentally prepare yourself, train? Is there anything that you would want to share with people that, like, you need to listen to this or read this?
One thing I'm really big on right now is Daniel G. Yeah. I love watching Daniel G's content. Yeah, I would love to see him in person. He's super cool to watch, super high energy.
Energy, man.
Yeah, that's what I really like, and that's kind of what I want in myself, is a lot of high energy, a lot of knowledge and, like, sales and all that fun stuff, but just being a good human too. Yeah. I like watching his content, but really outside of all of that, it's fitness content, it's sales content, it's not really much else outside of that. And then I'm really big on music, so I listen to music. I don't do anything music-wise, but I listen to a lot of music, and I take pride in building out playlists, and I take pride in, like, what I'm listening to throughout the day. So music, gym content, and sales content, that's primarily what my feed consists of. And tattoos.
Yeah, and tattoos. So. Fun fact, we got to get a picture of Devin popped up on the screen, tatted, head to toe. Yeah. So any big mentors that you look back at, and these are the people that had the biggest impact on your life?
The people in this room, I'm still finding mentors.
Yeah. Travis in the room, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever stop finding mentors. Like, you two have played such a huge role in who I am and what I'm becoming. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not where I'm going to be, but
you'll find plenty more along the way.
Right. Yeah. And the biggest mentors I had, like, before I met the two of you, were in the car business. Carlos, my new car manager, he was awesome. He taught me, like,
cool. So you did have some good relationships that came.
Yeah. Carlos, he was really fun to work with. He taught me a lot about, like, the sales process. He was really good at sales too, but he worked his way into a management position. But seeing the way, like, he talks to people, and seeing the way that he sells cars, and seeing the way that he carries himself, I think that helped shape me into the salesperson I was, like, in that space. and he helped me through quite a bit during the car business. Just his mentality, his perspective of things, and keeping my head on straight, not worrying about anyone else but myself. Because in the car business, that's really all you can do is worry about yourself, not anyone else. So he played a huge part, and obviously I had coaches along the way, like within like the soccer realm and whatnot. But really, it was Carlos and the car industry, and it's you two. And
we'll appreciate that.
In this
awesome
business,
yeah. Last question, we'll wrap it up with: what are you most proud of to this point?
My work ethic.
Yeah,
that is easily the biggest thing I'm most proud of. Just what I have become and what I am becoming is an awesome feeling, because I can not only see like what I'm doing right now, but I can see what I'm working toward.
Right.
And I feel like I'm so locked in right now than I ever been at any point in my life. It's really a nice feeling.
Yeah.
And waking up every day with a routine, and waking up every day like going straight to the gym, going straight back home to the shower, getting ready for work, going into our sales meeting, and having like a set routine every single day, and continuing to be 1% better every single day. That's
let's get a little bit better every day.
Right.
That's all that matters.
That's what I'm most proud of easily.
Love it. It's been great, brother. Appreciate you. We love you. Can't wait to grow with you. It's been awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course.